Welcome to the Art of Hitting channel, and we're going to visit the Melbourne Hitting Club that we call the Art of Hitting Club. And what we did on Saturday was bring in an expert stretch lady, a trainer, and you'll hear all about it. We'll explain about it, but we're only going to show you bits and pieces of what we've done during this session. But later on, we'll put out full sessions that if you wanted to do some of these exercises, you could use it like a little example video. So enjoy. Hey, here we are at the Art of Hitting Club this morning. It's a special day. Got my son Scott here. He brought up an idea to me to bring over his, we called Nancy the stretch
therapist, yoga instructor.
Yeah, so I wanted to bring it over and introduce it to our guys and put it out on our channel because we're about wellness, hitting the ball right, doing all the things, and one of our focus on our channel is longevity, living long, and I believe that the stretching and the things that, and I'll let Scott explain what's going on here, but I think it's very valuable to senior citizens. So Scott, why don't you explain to me the value?
If we wind about 2.5 years ago, I was having severe hip pains, both hips, almost like knives were in my hips. And I stopped myself at the office one day, just kind of stopped in time and I just felt my whole body typing on my keyboard just like this.
Really?
If you go this, I knew it wasn't good. So I ran into Nancy. She's got her own studio in Orlando.
You physically ran into her?
No, just metaphorically, I guess.
Oh, okay.
No more hip pain. Hip pain's completely gone. I feel like my posture's better. I couldn't touch my toes prior to that. I can put my palms on the floor now. Just overall wellness is good, and that was right when I started. I hadn't played softball competitively for 20 years, so that might have been part of it, but I feel like it's definitely had an impact on me hitting, on my longevity, staying kind of injury free. That first year I was injured a lot.
And after you got that injury?
Yeah, I mean, listen, we played last week in Lakeland, and my recovery, it took me 2 or 3 days. I had a tough 2 or 3 days, but I do really believe that it would have been a lot longer. I might have actually had some serious injuries had I hadn't done the stretching. There's plenty of times when I'll hit here in the morning at the hitting club and shoot over to Orlando. You see me leave early, I'm shooting over there and getting a yoga and a stretch session.
You live a tough life, that's all I got to say. Well, listen, folks, we're going to show this to you and in bits and pieces, and I hope you get something out of it, and get back with you in. Okay, so Nancy, I'm glad you're here. Oh, that's cute. And I'll put now. Tell us about your company in Orlando. What you do.
So I own a studio called Be Like Agua Yoga and Wellness. It's like be like water, except the word agua in Spanish. And so what I do is I combine a mix of modalities that I use that I learned throughout the years for from anatomy-based education with yoga, tai chi, qigong, different kinds of mobility, and also a lot of mindset. So things that have to do with breath work, meditation, just learning about how the mind connects to the body and how we can create this union and uplift what we're doing, so where we can move longer and live a better life and a better quality life, so we feel better. So I'm really big on mobility, hydrating the joints, getting the blood flowing, moving the organs, connecting to our lungs. So it's a bunch of modalities that I use to just help people increase their well-being.
That sounds great. The one problem I got to warn you first, okay? Full disclosure, when you talk about mind issues, you may have a little problem here with these guys. So let's see what we got.
We have this whole skeletal system. We have a lot of joints, a lot of tendons, ligaments, connections, fascia in between, everything. So if you just kind of think for a moment and see yourself as this anatomy poster, right? We just want to move everything in all the different directions, okay? So we're going to just shake out the body a little bit, get loose, bring the shoulders into it, because we hold a lot of tension in our traps. So we'll hold a lot of tension right here, so we gotta open everything up. So we're just gonna bring our knees up, engage your toes upward, and when you're pressing into the ground, I want you to think about pressing the ground away so you feel the activation into your quads, into your core. Everything's coming from the core. So you wanna have that strong core. Open up the arms. All right, shake it out again. All right, we're gonna get onto one side, put a little bend in that knee so you activate the quad, activate the glutes. Again, core, open up. We're gonna lift and we're gonna go 3 times in one direction, big circles. Good. And then other direction. And you can land if you need to. Good. All right, shake it out. Other side. You're gonna find where you balance. Make sure you're not turning outward, turning inward. We always want to create this balance, a 4-point base in the foot. And we're going to go outward. 1, 2, 3, other direction. And you always want to think you want to reach through the crown of the head. So you want your spine to elongate. So other side. Good. All right. We're going to relax the core here, the back is really stiff. A lot of times driving, sitting desk. So you're just gonna imagine your arms just very loose, kind of like spaghetti. And we're just gonna look left and right, and you're gonna look in the direction that your hands are going. And you should feel your core engaging here. We're gonna go a little bit higher. Opening up the
Chuck, get your butt over here, buddy. You need this.
Opening up the chest, curving motion. A little bit higher. You want to try and throw something up over the hips, and then bring that arm down. I like to take this arm and press it into my leg so it helps my knee from beginning to cave in, and I open here. So you want to have this foundation, right? Trying to align the arms. Once again, the only thing that's going to move is the torso up. So we're going to leave the legs where they are and bring it back. The right hand lands on the back of the thigh to give you some grounding, and you reach up. A lot of people start losing that knee bend. Make sure you still have the knee stacked over the ankle and you're reaching back. So now you're stretching through the side body. We're gonna come back. Now slowly start to straighten the legs. And I always say activate from the ground up. So engage even your toes. Every part of our body matters. So if you engage from your toes, you feel the activation into your calves, into your glutes. Now we reach forward. The right hip is reaching back. I'm opening up through the right shoulder. Now that right arm or the left arm comes down. Press it into the inside of the left leg so it helps you twist, and you're gonna look up to that right hand. Reach the right arm up while the left hand.
Go ahead and tell them what you're going to tell them, but I was going to suggest that.
Well, you just start off. If you do a little bit every day, you just have to believe that your body is still capable of increasing the flexibility and then do it. So if you do just a little bit every day, you'll start to see that you can actually open up a little bit more, because Scott, like he was saying, he could put his hands on the ground now. And when I first got him, he wasn't reaching the ground. So you can always improve your flexibility, but you have to, it's like anything else, consistency. You just have to consistently stretch. You have to consistently show up to do it, and then you'll see. And I have most of my clients are older clients, because when we're younger, we don't pay attention that much.
Right.
We kind of ignore our injuries. We ignore that we're not that flexible. But then we start getting older, and our body's not that forgiving. So if we don't put in the work, we really actually start to feel it. So a lot of my clients are older because they've gotten to that point where their bodies kind of.
Because of stretch, when I was doing that stretch, I could feel it on the instep of my feet.
Okay, Nancy, tell us what we just did and why.
So what we just went through was some mobility movement, and the reason why is to open up the joints. So a lot of times the shoulders, and also a lot of us are driving, we're on our phones, we're on computers. A lot of our daily movements are kind of just in a set position. So we want to do is we want to open up the joints. So what I did when it came to the horse stance, the different kinds of movements, is taking your joints in all the different directions, including your hip mobility, the strength in your legs, activating the muscles in the ligaments, the tendons, the connections in your legs to get ready to go perform. So when you connect to your body, also when you slow it down, we have a very fast-paced society. We live in a very fast-paced world. We have these phones that keep us very fast-paced and engaged. So this practice also allows you this type of movement meditation to get in tune with your body. So you have that mind-body connection to perform in a more accurate way. Your body delivers for you because you're more connected to the movement of your body, the connection of your body. So a lot of the movements that we did was full rotation in the hip joints, full rotation in the shoulder joints, opening up the lats, opening up the chest, using your lungs, engaging all the muscles from your toes into your legs, into the glutes, and getting in tune with your core, because everything comes from your core and you're powering from the ground as well. So
Okay, well, really appreciate it, and looking forward to what else we're going to do today.
thank you. Bring this hand behind your head here. Keep your hand up behind your head.
Well, every once in a while, we'd like to give a little recognition to one of our famous graduates. Actually, this guy started the Art of Hitting Club. Yeah, he's an unusual cat, but yeah, he was very instrumental in everything we do here. So, hey, don't forget to hit subscribe.